to the deep souls out there, the intuitives, the deep feelers, the empaths, the mystics. How are you feeling going into January 2026? What does your body have to say? What's your internal weather feeling like? I wanted to hop on here because I was listening to a podcast the other day, and this podcast had to do with a lot of like go, 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 go energy. This energy of identity shifting. It was very fiery. But when I tuned into the energy, into my body, it felt like pressure. It felt like urgency. It felt like pushing. Almost like that energy of living off of adrenaline or off of hype motivation. And I really got sitting with it because this is something that I would personally do in the past. I would treat the new year, January, as like this fresh, clean slate, as an opportunity to turn the page, as an opportunity to review my habits, review my patterns, and to set new goals, right? To set new resolutions, to put the foot on the gas pedal, I guess you can say, get things moving and have a reason to, which was AKA January, New Year. But as you really tune into the body, you pay attention to the body, not what the mind has to say, not what society is drilling in our minds, new year, new me, a time for like, let's go, let's get things moving. When you really tune into that collective energy, your body has a lot more to say. Your body holds the truth, not the external noise of what everyone else is doing, everyone pressing the gas pedal, going to the gyms, starting new programs, new habits, new hobbies, just like this very loud energy. But when you really listen to your body tells you the truth. And this time of year is not the time of year that we're supposed to press on the gas. It's not the time of year that we're supposed to pull ourselves out of our body and push, go in like this speedy, fast energy. It's not. Winter is meant to be a time of introspection, a time where we don't necessarily attach to all of the external and try to make life go speedier and faster. Winter is an invitation for us to descend, to go deep, to reflect on how we truly feel, and to revisit different patterns within ourselves. It's not a time to pull ourselves externally. And when you look at winter, right? December being this time where there's so many different holiday parties. There's a lot of commercialism with like purchasing for Christmas. There is a lot going on as well with the new year, with parties and a bunch of hype and staying up really late at night to celebrate going into the new year. All of these are patterns that are pulling us to be very extroverted, pulling us to crack open, put ourselves around a lot of social environments. It's also very dysregulating, right? Breaking our sleep patterns to stay up later, to, ring in the new year past midnight. There's a lot of different patterns as well when it comes to eating. We're overeating from all of these different holiday parties. Another key marker of dysregulating our body, having so much more to digest. It's a lot of fast-paced energy, and also surrounding ourselves with lots of different people, right? There's a lot of different ancestral echoes. There's a lot of different past experiences that come back online in the body because our body remembers. However, our mind can only keep track of so much. We don't remember every single moment of our life, but our body keeps tabs. Our body keeps score. And when you look at winter, we have been programmed so backwards. We have been programmed to crack open, to be extroverted, to push ourselves out of ourselves, to go, fast-paced commercialism, and having so many different plans, staying up late, dysregulating through so much eating, and it has just been so backwards. If you look at nature, for example, animals know this intelligence. Animals know that winter is not a time to crack open. It is a time to slow down, to introspect. It is a time to rejuvenate. It's a time to come back home to ourselves, to our inner world, and to close out old loops. If you think about it, winter, a lot of things die off. It is not something that is meant to be loud and exciting and charged on motivation and adrenaline. But society has implemented so many different practices that are completely backwards, that do the opposite of what our natural instinct does. If you listen to your body, you can feel that during winter, there is a part of you that just wants to slow things down, that wants to go deeper, that wants to retreat. It's like this experience of wanting to feel cozy and warm and comforting in your home. And this instinct goes so far deep. And our body remembers that. But when you think about everything that has been put into society, just let yourself open up to this. It's very fast-paced, lots of hype, lots of go energy, which pulls us out of ourselves, which basically bypasses our body's own wisdom. And later on, we enter into February, and that's when a lot of things crash. A lot of people's nervous system crash. A lot of those New Year resolutions that were built off of hype and motivation and pushing energy, which is survival energy, spikes of cortisol, bringing a bunch of new habits and a bunch of new routines in your life, as well as cutting a bunch of them. That's a lot on your body, on your nervous system. And so this doesn't bring us more into alignment. It actually pushes us out of alignment in dysregulation. It's an invitation for so much like cortisol to spike. There's so much for the body that now has to try to regulate. And when we are not actively, for example, practicing regulation, in that we get pulled out of ourselves with all of these experiences that are meant to dysregulate us out of our power, then later on, those New Year resolutions, they don't last. Not because we can't keep showing up consistently, but because our body literally crashes, because it's been operating in fight or flight and push response for a while, that then eventually crashes, and then people end up feeling numb again or dissociated. They break their good eating habits, they break their workouts routines, they break all of the different how can I say this, all of the new energy that they press the gas on entering the new year. And then we go right back into feeling disconnected to ourselves. Because winter is not meant to be a push season. It is meant to be the season that we go deeper, that we come home to ourselves deeper. And spring, that is where the actual real new year lies. That's where things come back alive, where seeds that were planted in the dark, they come back alive. They take shape, they take form. That's when a lot of different animals as well, they come back into their natural instinct. They come back online because there's a natural flow of energy that moves during this season. There's a reason why during winter, there's a lot of people that experience density, depression, seasonal depression, and so on. Because we're not supposed to pull ourselves out of ourselves. We're supposed to come home and build stronger foundations, build stronger roots, build stronger capacity and safety within ourselves. And animals know this. Think about turtles and snakes and bears and frogs, all of the different animals, they slow down so much that some of them almost seem like they're dead. Like their blood, everything, their body slows down so they can rest. We're not meant to always be on all the time, because that pushes us out of regulation and into a state of survival. And when we are operating from survival, we are out of touch with our intuition. We are out of touch as well with our power, with our knowing. And we are a lot more easily controllable. We're a lot more easily manipulated and pushed out of our true self. So I just wanted to share this experience. It came up through a podcast I was listening to that was this pressure energy, this push energy. And my body remembered and really felt that this is not it. This is not what we're supposed to be doing at this time. It doesn't mean don't set goals. It doesn't mean to be, like lazy or drop everything. No, it means to go deeper, to root deeper, to revisit the roots that are dying off, to revisit the different parts of ourselves that are asking for deeper rooting, the different parts of ourselves that want to come online. And this type of experience is not meant to be loud. It is felt. It is very quiet. It is very subtle, but it's there. But we can't hear that. We can't connect with our body's wisdom and our intuition when the world is programming us into hype, into adrenaline and motivation and push season energy. So this is your invitation to just kind of take what lands with you, and anything that doesn't, let it be, let it go. I just wanted to reflect that back as I am in the middle of receiving beautiful applications for the shadow threshold, which is exactly the type of energy that we intentionally descend into during this season in winter. Descending into our somatic truth, reclaiming our body's wisdom, reclaiming our body as the oracle, building that internal safety so that old cycles, old patterns can finally come to completion. And they cannot come to completion when we're dysregulated, when we're living out here and in the external hypes. Old cycles, old patterns, old stories, and things that want to come up for completion, for closure, it comes up very prominently online during winter. Because when we slow down, those old patterns finally have the safety to come up, to be felt, to be released, to be alchemized. But when we're doing the opposite of our nature, and we are operating from the loudness, the noise, those cycles, they can't come online to be fully closed out. They might come online a little bit, but there's not going to be enough safety to bring them into closure, to continue coming more and more embodied in our true self, our sovereignty, who we are beneath all of the layers and all of the patterns that were never meant to be ours to carry in the first place. Winter is meant to be a time where density clears. And that's why people can feel the winter heaviness. Not because it's a bad thing, but because density wants to move. It wants to clear. And the body's communicating that. But we can't feel it and bring it into closure when we are operating from pushing survival energy. So this is exactly the type of energy we descend into the shadow threshold, which is a 6-week descent into shadow alchemy, into somatic truth, into sovereign embodiment, to come back home into ourselves, to build that internal safety, to hold intensity long enough so it can finally close. So those old patterns don't keep lingering and that we don't keep carrying them because we are operating up here and externally, but so that we can build the capacity, the safety to hold sensation and intensity so it can close out. So that also when spring comes, that fresh energy comes in and we are ready. We are ready to hold more. we are ready to also create more and ride that natural life force that our body and our instinct knows. So if this is something that speaks to you, pay attention, listen to your body as application for the shadow thresholds are officially opened. And we begin the descent January 15th. I'm so excited to meet the incredible women that feel the resonance to do this type of work. So if you feel that subtle, quiet pull, that curiosity, listen, pay attention. I'm going to leave the link inside my bio if you want to explore the Shadow Threshold transmission page. And if you feel the call that you are ready to apply to join this 6-week descent, this held descent, I am so excited to go over your application. So that's it.